For music, follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music in YouTube.
Radyo-Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
And there was another drive-by shooting.
The fire we reported at the old fire hall is still burning out.
Do you sometimes feel confused or lost in the complications and complexities of life? Do you feel drained, listless, or exhausted from the daily burdens and responsibilities? Why not seek our campus ministers on air every Tuesday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon? Listen to our counselors from the Loyola School's Campus Ministry Office as they ground our lives in our faith, in our school's spiritual tradition. Campus Ministers on Air. Be guided, be inspired, be blessed. Listen to our Campus Ministers on Air. Radyo-Katipunan, 87.9 FM. We are now on YouTube. Watch all of our live episodes plus exclusive content in our channel at radyo-katipunan FM. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get the latest updates.
Jesuit Music Ministry, your daily dose of inspiration. Follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Radyo-Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo-Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo-Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, radyo, katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Kawan ni Ignacio, katipunero sugo. Todo sa kayod, punong at tulong. Di ba the Blue Eagle, galing, hiding at tigil. UNY
Let us understand mental health and explore how we can take care of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Welcome to your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits with Pat and B, here on Mind Ed.
Sa'yo sumisilong kapag ang puso ko'y pagod.
Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. The voice of the Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, radyo, katipunan. Radyo, radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, kawal ni Ignacio, katipunero sugo, todo sa kayod, punong at tulong. Ipag the Blue Eagle, galing hiting at tigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, radyo, katipunan. Radyo, radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan.
This is your stop for all things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Cholo Sediaren, as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's hot in the pop culture scene here on Popcorn. Munch in with us every Thursdays from 4 to 6, only here on radyo-katipunan 87.9 FM.
What's poppin' and welcome to Popcorn with Cholo Sediaren, your stop for all things pop, where we talk about all things pop culture from here in the Philippines to the rest of the globe. Welcome everyone, I'm your host Cholo, and today meron tayong extra special guest here on the show. I'm excited to have her on here. She is a singer-songwriter, and you may know her from a viral TikTok dance recently. Her name is Hazel Faith. Welcome, Hazel, to the show.
Hi. Welcome to me.
Welcome to you.
Welcome to me. Sorry, sanay masyado sa live streaming.
Nga. Araw-araw ka yata nagla-live stream.
Almost every day. Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. So, parang it becomes second nature na at a certain point.
But now it's welcome to us because
Welcome
we'll be having welcome to us now because we're having a conversation here. But I'm so excited to have Hazel on here to talk about her music, her career, and all things, Glee, because we are such big fans of Glee. I'm sure a lot of people are also on this show. But I guess, kamusta ka muna? How's everything so far? I heard talaga. I know you released your recent or latest EP called Renewed recently. How has it been for you?
I was really happy. Like, hindi ko talaga in-expect the amount of attention that Renewed is getting because, well, when I first wanted to put out a Christian song, not even an EP or an album or anything, I just wanted to put out one Christian song. When I first wanted to release a song, it was kind of discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
And I understood. It was unspoken, but I understood. And nahirapan ako to put that out. And I kind of put that in the back burner. But this time I find this time when I finally put out a song, okay lang ba nag-i-English ako? Mas maganda
Yes.
ba mag okay, sorry. Just
Accept all varieties of language.
yung direct thoughts ko kasi in English, sorry. So when I finally put out the album, I really wasn't expecting a lot. I was expecting, okay, I'll put it out and it's out. I'll just leave it alone. Parang ganon. But I did not expect the amount of support it's getting from the sweeties, from new audiences, from the Christian community, and especially from Sony. Like, I'm really grateful for Sony dahil ang laki ng tulong nila sa akin in terms of the marketing and the promotions and stuff like that, because alam niyo na, it's hard on your own. It's hard on your own, diba? To strike on your own. But I really believe the Lord is providing for every part of the album. And so it's really a happy feeling for me, a heartwarming feeling for me to know that, my Lord is really hands-on managing this album.
Yes, and you deserve that because the album is really good. Personally speaking, I don't say this to all the artists that I work with, but
Praise God.
I'm like, wow, this is such a bop. And I mean, aside from it being a Christian album, when music speaks to you, it's music plus message, and both of it is captured in your album. And congrats to that. And
Praise God. Thank you.
let's talk more about that album later. But I guess to those who are unacquainted, let's get to know Hazel a little bit more. Like, what are the origins of Hazel Faith as an artist, and how
Sugar, spice, everything.
bleach na kulay gray?
Purple shampoo that you expose to the beach.
In the touch of God's love.
Oh, yes. Ano ba? There's a lot of things. I am such a weird girl na parang ang hirap i-explain into one thing. It's like I'm as vast as my genres. Parang ang hirap i-pinpoint into one thing. Pero I grew up into a small family. We weren't really the most well-off family. My earliest memories were, isa lang ang kwarto namin ng pamilya ko. We would, in the morning, we would roll up our banig, and then the room would be the sala, the room would be the play area, the room would be everything. And then at night, roll out the banig and then sleep on the floor like everybody else, and then can tuna. So we were like, I call it sardines sleeping kasi nakagano kayo lahat, and then you'd wake up with your brother's butt in front of you, parang so it was a really small origin story, but my father worked hard, my mother worked hard, and all that time that they were working hard, we were kind of left alone to our own devices in the house, and hindi rin kami pinapalabas ng parents namin at that time because, well, walang magbabantay sa amin eh. So
bawal lumabas.
Exactly. Kaya itong quarantine na to, childhood. So it was a matter of finding things to entertain myself. And what I found to entertain me was music. Ang daming mga records ng mom ko. Ang daming yung mga cassette tapes.
Yeah.
And so I would spend most of my time just listening to music all day long, or writing a poem or writing songs all day long, and just like singing them to myself and pretending it's on a show, or pretending I'm making a music video with my own song. Parang ganon. And it's always been like that for me. It's very parang second nature na rin na to just make a song for funsies and not really like think about it afterwards. I never thought that my career would go into that direction, but now looking back at it, it's always been there pala.
You never know, right? Until it's just there. But I guess just to add to that, which songs in particular spoke to you, yung mga pinapakinggan mo sa collection ng mom mo na that sparked the connection with music?
Oh, sobrang dami. Sobrang dami. Like my mom has these what do you call them? Yung mga compilation
Oh,
cassettes and CDs, and so I was exposed to a lot of R&B, a lot of funk, a lot of meron din yung dad ko naman ng Beatles. My dad had the Platters, and then meron din akong classical music CD. So it's like it's a amalgamation talaga ng mga iba't ibang genres, but those are the favorites of my family. I always say na um I associate a genre to my parents or my brother, or if it's rock or punk or alternative, that's from my brother. That's influence ng brother ko yan. But
yeah.
if it's more you gotta follow your road. Yeah, that's my mom. Yung mga everything takes time, yeah, and that's my mom's influence. And then funk songs and blues and stuff like that, that's my dad's influence. Mga jazzy stuff, that's my dad's influence. But none of my family actually are professional musicians in any way. So that's why I never thought I would have a career in music, because I had no connection going there.
But is there like a particular artist that stood out na parang, oh, siya yung
Mhm.
idol ko? Kasi kunwari ako, as a wannabe performer,
Yeah. I'm thinking.
ako parang I was like, di ba, seeing Sarah Geronimo rise to fame,
Yeah.
that was kind of like my childhood. Parang mga
Mhm.
S Club 7,
Yeah.
Geronimo in that early 2000s, Britney Spears, ganyan.
I used to dream about dancing with Michael Jackson.
Wow.
I used to dream about being on stage with Michael Jackson. That's my earliest memory na I had a dream about, earliest memory of a dream, na I was moonwalking with Michael Jackson up the wall. And I was like,
Wow.
wow, up the wall. Pero like shaping my youth, I was deeply influenced by
Isa ngang
Britney.
hihi dyan.
Shamong! And then the long sustained.
Ayan na ang abangan natin.
Ay,
kay
sorry
Hazel.
pa. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, lumalabas magiging fangirl ka. Ay, sorry. So like those are some of them, but then some of other influences would be yung nga, Earth, Wind and Fire, Gary V.
So
Those
really
are the
80s,
ones.
ganon.
Very 80s. Yes, very 80s. And then female performance wise, I could say that my influences early on were Britney, Christina, Beyonce, Lady Gaga. Those are the singers that really like stood out to me. And then later on, when K-pop came in, 21,
Yeah.
Big Bang, yung mga yon.
The
Those are
bleach
the
era of Hazel.
alam na this. But yeah, those are the things that there was a performance aspect to music that I really loved. There was a dramatic aspect to music that I really loved. And I think that nakakatulong din yung that I grew up to Disney, Alan Menken songs, so very theatrical din ako without actually being from theater.
Oh, ayun pala. I mean, that kind of all makes sense. This is my next question, because we were talking about like your music, diba? This was off the record na talking about ano ba yung mga origins mo, how did you get into music, and then parang I think Hazel mentioned na I was on the Glee off, or you won that contest that really like kind of like kickstarted your music career, right? Like syempre, with what you told now, na parang it kind of makes sense that you got into Glee with the theatricality, the difference, parang all the different genres in one show, and you know that kind of like Rachel Berry.
Oh my goodness! Ngayon ko lang din naisip yan. I'm mind blown right now.
Now, ayun, you heard it here first. People's mind being blown.
Oh yeah, pero kaya rin siguro I'm so attracted to Glee because it's like, it's theatrical, it's pop at the same time.
Yeah. Yun, parang, how, can you tell us more about that experience? Because di ba parang, in those days when we would still watch TV, Glee was airing on ETC, and
Yeah.
we had this contest called the Glee Off. Tama ba?
Glee off to Hollywood. Yeah.
Yun, Glee Off to Hollywood. Like, how did you parang find yourself getting into that contest to begin with?
Mm-mm. Well, the thing was, sobrang fan ako ng ETC channel. Like, yung mga shows nila at that time were para sa para sa mga youth na hindi dapat nanonood. Ganun.
Mga PLL, ano pa?
The
Gossip
Pretty Little
Girl.
Liars, Gossip Girls, ano pa ba yan? Basta marami to doon. But yeah, mahilig ako sa Vampire Diaries. May Vampire
Yes, oh my
Vampire
gosh,
Diaries.
ako rin.
Basta yun, I was really a fan of ETC. So I kept it was on all the time. And one time, I think I got home from school and nag-on yung commercial na, do you want to meet the Glee cast member? Or the Glee cast, do you want to meet them? So I go, huh? And then sabi, you just have to submit a video about how much of a fan you are. And the deadline was 3 days from the day I saw it. So sabi ko, oh no! Paano ako, yes naman.
Ayan, I changed my background for you. Para relevant tayo.
Very good, very good. Ayun, tapos I only had like 3 days and I couldn't even think of what to submit or how to show na I'm a fan. Kasi walang merch. Wala akong merch, wala akong anything, wala akong editing power. So I only had like a digicam and myself. So ang ginawa ko na lang, I sat in a room and videoed myself singing a song I wrote. And I was talking about how Glee was helping me be more confident in this person, this weird little girl that I am. And then I sang the song. And yun na, as in, wala pa nga atang instrumental yung kantang yun. So magkakaalam. I don't know kung may
instrumental. The song?
Like, yeah, oo.
Sige nga
yeah. Ay, na-pressure ako. It's called Can't Comprehend. And it goes like this, you know. It must be the way you look at me with such a gentle intensity. It must be the way you smile at me. You smile so serenely. It must be the way that you ask me to stay the way I am. It must be the way that you say my name. 'Cause I just can't seem to comprehend the way I feel. Staying this way with you, I just can't seem to understand the way I feel when you hold my hand.
Wow! Personal concert thanks to And how old were you then?
I think I wrote that I think at 16, pero I submitted that I think at 17 or 18.
That is so good. Did you ever release that song?
It was actually a giveaway song for my debut.
Oh.
So I think only a certain number of people who have that.
So ayan na, alam na natin ang susunod na single ni
Oh
That's
my
so
God.
good. Honestly,
you.
like wow, I couldn't have written that song when I was that age.
Oh.
I guess the closest I've written to a song when when we were in high school was like a parody of My Headband by Rachel Berry, and I called it My Hard Drive because my hard drive broke and I was really sad about it.
Sample.
Di ko na alam yung lyrics. Nakakaya. But anyway, that was amazing. I'm not surprised that you won that contest.
Yeah, actually they talked to us about it, and then, so cuento, let's be chronological about this. So after I submitted the song, they called me up to be part of the 20 or 10 finalists in the event.
Oh, sorry.
Okay na. Hello.
Anyway.
Hello.
Ano ulit yun? Can you repeat that?
sige, I'll start again. So like they invited me to be part of the 10 or 20, I'm not sure, 10 or 20 finalists to this event kung saan i-unveil nila kung sino yung panalo. And then they started showing the top 3, I think, the top 3 or top 10 finalists na videos. And I saw the top 2 and I was like, ang hirap manalo pala. May editing pa sila ng parang edited fireworks there, and then may mga patalon-talon pa sila na cut. Ano yun? Yung parang lumilipad ka pero naka-cut yung ano.
Yung parang uso sa TikTok ngayon.
Oo, yung gano'n. Sabi ko, oh no, wala na ako. Kakain na lang ako. Sarap yung pagkain, guys. Pero and then and then the lights turned on me and it was like, congratulations to the winner. And then a compilation video of the whole cast saying my name.
Oh my
and dancing to
gosh.
my name it's still on YouTube. I think people can search it. My name was all over YouTube, and then may banner pa sila ng name ko, and they were dancing, and I was like, huh? Parang hindi ako makapaniwala, and they were like, I remember my mom being like, punta ka doon, pinapapunta ka sa harap. I'm just like walking robotically kasi I don't understand what's going on. Hindi mag-sink in sa akin until I'm at the front and everybody's like looking at me like, how does it feel to be a winner? I'm a winner. Ganun yung feeling. And then
I'm
I
living
won.
vicariously right now with that experience.
I'm gonna paint this as detailed as possible para maramdaman mo yung naramdaman. And so I got in touch with Sir Rolly. Sir Rolly is one of the producers or the executives from ETC, and they were the ones who's supposed to take care of me the whole trip, and they're the ones implementing the whole thing. And so they took me to America, and they gave us a tour of the studio. So yeah, they sent me to America. They brought me to the studio that you're back standing in right now, sitting in right now.
I can only dream on a
So yeah, I was actually surprised. Akala ko kasi it's a set yung studio nila. Yung pala nasa I mean, like, not set. It's a live place. It's an actual school where they shot. Kasi wala akong alam sa showbiz nun, di ba? So all I know is I thought it's a real school. Yun pala, it's inside of a big, gigantic studio. And everything was made just for the show. So like, if you can see the wall there behind you, they can take that out for a better angle.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was like so cool. Ngayon ko lang natutunan yan. And then they don't have ceilings, they have lighting overhead. And then like makikita mo how meticulous everything was. And we had our own pantry area kung saan like unlimited lahat ng mga cookies and candies. And it was for everybody. Everybody could come in and like just get food. And then
I would have hoarded all the food. Not gonna lie.
I was trying to keep my cool and be like, I'm a cool fan. Never. I wasn't the only one. There were 2 other girls from different countries, I think. One was, I think, from Australia. I'm not really sure. But yeah, winners din sila. So Glee was actually having girls from, not girls, but winners from all over visit the set. So I was with 2 girls, and they asked us, the staff asked us kung anong gusto ba namin, normal student or Cheerio. And I was like, Cheerio? So kasi syempre, di ba, the Cheerio had like
an
iconic outfit. So I was like, Cheerio, of course. And yun pala, they were giving us a walk-on role in the episode. And
do you remember what episode this is specifically?
I don't know the number, but I do know it's the Christmas episode, 2nd season, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think, yeah. And so binigyan nila kami ng actor treatment, talent treatment. So they took us to the makeup room.
Wait, so everyone was a Cheerio? Or ikaw lang?
We all chose to be Cheerios. So we were all Cheerios. The three girls Cheerios.
Kayo yung unholy trinity of
Pero I'm the only Cheerio na hindi blonde.
You're
I mean,
Santana.
I mean, like, kasi my hair at that time was like really short and then may streak pa ako ng red here. So it's like punk Cheerio. The most punk Cheerio you can think of. And then they gave us the treatment na parang may trailer pa kami for makeuping, and then
Wow.
they have a whole truck, 2-story high truck for all of the costumes, and then they pulled out one, ano size mo, ganyan, parang ganun. And then they gave me a size, and all the Cheerio outfits, even down to the earrings and socks, were given. And binigyan pa nila ako ng little hat, like little white hat on top of my head kasi nga may streaks. So yeah, and then they gave us the school bag and the uniform and the thingies, the props, and sabi lang nila, dito lang kayo in the back habang nag-eksena sila at the front, and then your teacher is gonna talk to you, and then you're gonna go and then walk off. Okay. We're so excited. And dito, todo acting ako. I was like, yes, sir. It was actually a gift from a... Gumagawa pa ako ng story in the back of my head. Yun pala, in the actual scene, I'm just a blur in the back.
At least you lived your fantasy.
I did, though. I did. It was a really fun event for me. And then, hindi pa natapos doon kasi like, pinapakita nila sa amin kung saan... we only met half the cast kasi the other half is rehearsing. So we actually met Darren.
Oh my gosh.
And Darren was walking around and he was like, "Oh, you're Filipino too." And he went with us after he met us. He went with us going around the studio. It was so nice. He was
so cool.
Super nice. Sobra.
I'm fanboying over your experience.
Me too, nababalik yung pagiging fangirl.
As a Gleek myself. Actually, that's how Hazel and I kind of connected. I mean, syempre, of course, work is work. But I was like, oh my gosh, you're that girl who went to Glee.
I'm that girl. Tapos ayun. And then at the end of the day, usually pala, they all get together and eat together while watching the upcoming episode, the freshly edited episode. So may little theater sila, and then they would all watch together. Whoever is free, you can watch what's coming next na episode. And yeah, we were eating lasagnas like nom, 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 nom.
Oh my gosh.
And Jay,
Darren Chris.
Yeah.
Pwede ba magpa-picture ganun habang siya?
We had a photo op session dahil nga kami yung mga yung lucky winners, so we had a photo op session, so it was really nice.
Who else was there? Like, who was in the scene na nasa background ka?
Mr. Schuster. Nagda-dialogue sila. Ano nga ba yung pinag-uusapan nila? I forgot what they were talking about. I just remember na the crew was like, tumatagal yung take namin because the glare ng glasses was... So, ina-adjust nila yung glare ng glasses. Yun ang pinakaalala ko doon. But anyway, so yeah, after that, we met with people and with a cast, and then uwi na. But the whole thing kasi was being vlogged by ETC. As a kumbaga of course, if you're doing a project, syempre you wanna document everything. What I did not expect was Asia Journal went to my hotel room and asked to have an interview. So we gave a proper interview. We had a sit-down talk. Hindi ko lang in-expect na yung interview na yon aabot sa Pilipinas and would make it to the news. So and it kind of became sensationalized. You know yung feeling that you say something and then people pass it on, and then it became bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's not what you said anymore. Parang ganun.
Yeah. And what was said there?
The headlines were, ang bagong Pilipinang against Kay Charisse. What? Who said that?
If Charisse is Sunshine Corazon, ano yung pangalan mo sa Glee? Monsoon.
Moonlight. Moonlight, I don't know.
Ano yung ng Corazon?
Ano
Moonlight.
ba?
Moonlight Esperanza.
Oh my goodness. No, but really, I wasn't even supposed to be a regular in the show. So that's like people started making up stories about me and I wasn't even like confirming or denying. I didn't even have the chance to confirm or deny because I was in the States and this wild news was going all over in the Philippines. So I was like,
This was what year again? Mga 2012, 2011?
No idea. I'm not.
If it was season 2, it should be around like 2011.
Yeah, let's just Google it.
Wow, happy 10 years to you and your
Thank you.
Moonlight Esperanza.
I don't know what happened, but anyway, so yeah, I wasn't as a girl who wasn't really like thinking about, alam mo yun, like I wasn't really thinking about being a showbiz personality. I just if ever I was just thinking about being a musician. Mm-hmm. I wasn't thinking about being in the tabloids or whatever. And that was a big deal. It was a big shock to me kasi lahat ng mga Charisse fans started bashing me out of nowhere. Oh my gosh, they were like great stalkers, very very good in detective skills, finding me and everything and then bashing me. And they were like, wala namang ka-talent, wala namang bakit ba yan? Just a face, parang ganun lang sila sa akin. Sino ba yan? Hindi naman yan sikat. Yan, all of the things, all of the hurtful things you can think of.
My gosh.
Wala pa ako sa showbiz, binash na ako. So understandably, I was hesitant to go home. I was like, parang dito na lang ako. Don't wanna go back there. Parang galit na galit sa akin buong Pilipinas. But then I came back and I didn't pursue showbiz after that. I finished my studies. Mm-hmm. But here and there I would get invites for guesting. And I would say yes, syempre kasi I'm a Glee fan, so I wanna talk about Glee.
Like you are now.
Yeah, exactly.
Full circle.
So, and also, syempre, may mga guestings din bilang winner ng ETC. So, I had some obligatory guestings to go to. So, medyo in a way, na-expose lalo sa showbiz. But I wasn't really planning on being a showbiz personality. I wanted to finish my studies, please my parents, and have a normal 9 to 5.
But it's such like a happy coincidence, no? Na parang, that kind of put you in the spotlight. And then eventually, we're here now with you releasing an album. But not just that, you had a hit song recently. Not just recently, I mean, it was a revived hit. I guess let's fast forward to ano yung naging road to Kinikilig. Diba? It first came out, what year? 2015?
I think
2017,
so.
mga ganun.
I'm not very good with years. But I think so. But it was a while ago, actually. What happened was, this was a few years, I think, after my first song, Everything Takes Time, yung sa Himig Handog. And then I became finalist twice consecutively.
But were you the performer or interpreter for those songs in Himig Handog?
The first song, yes. The first song, Everything Takes Time, ako rin yung pinili na interpreter ko. And that kind of pushed me forward as a singer-songwriter. Kasi, yeah.
Himig Handog is such a big platform as well. Coming from Glee, Himig Handog is like, a way to like discover new songwriting talent and even like, make hits. Ang daming hits na nagawa ng Himig Handog. But ayun, continue, I guess, from Himig Handog.
I did not expect actually to get in. Sinabi lang sa akin na nanay ko, uy, sali ka, baka naman ganyan. And I was like, sige na nga, try. Just to make my mom like, okay, I did it.
Yeah.
So I sent like 2 random songs, and the semi-praise one was actually the one that got in as a finalist, and then they picked me to be my own interpreter. So that was I want to say I can't say pala. I can't say that it's my own efforts or anything. I really feel like halata mo na si Lord talaga ang gumawa ng paraan and pinaparamdam niya. And the title of the song is Everything Takes Time. So very very fitting for my career actually, because it's a very slow career. But
Slowly but surely, right?
Slowly but surely, yes. But so after the two consecutive wins, not wins, two consecutive finalists for Himig Handog, it kind of gave
What was
people
the second one? Sorry.
Juris' Bibitawan Ka. It was used in a lot of
joke. May iniisip lang kasi ako. Fun fact also, I was once the background person in a Himig Handog music video also. Kay Angeline Quinto naman siya.
Okay.
In 2016, I would say.
Batch ko yun. Which song?
Tinan ko lang. Himig Handog. Angeline. Hanggang Kailan by Angeline Quinto.
Okay, yeah.
Yun. So parang I'm following your footsteps. I started in as a background role.
We've been together all this time.
And now our paths have crossed.
Ayun. So yeah, finally got validated once Juris sang my song and started lobbying for more songs for other artists. But it was still hard. It was still hard to become a songwriter kasi syempre I'm not established. I'm not musically trained. I don't have all the studios or whatever fancy stuff to make proper demos. So it was hard to find clients. So most of the time, I would end up being my own singer because I wouldn't have a singer. So then came Di Na Kita Mahal with TJ, and then after that, it was a modest hit naman. Okay naman siya. It did well. Not with TJ. Sorry, with Michael Pangilinan. TJ was in the music video, but Michael Pangilinan was the one in the song. Di Na Kita Mahal with Michael. Sorry, Michael. Sorry, Cal. Nalito ang utak ko. Alam niyo naman. Okay. So anyways, after a modest hit of Di Na Kita Mahal, then we went with Kinikilig. And I remember I wrote this song inspired by a love team that I saw on TV that was very very nakakatuwa and so lighthearted. And
Ito.
Should I say na?
Sabihin mo na.
It's Aldab.
Oh my gosh. It's
yeah. So I was thinking of writing a theme song for Aldab. And so I was thinking of song na pwedeng kantahin even when you're in palengke or walking down the barangays, and then sabi ko, may lola, I'll write about a lola, and then and then how di ba lagi silang pinaghihiwalay, so hanggang tinginan lang sila, so that was the initial idea for Kinikilig, na I wanted something very distinctly Pinoy. And then I was thinking about the sound and how I wanted to be interpreted, and I told Jonathan I wanted it to be walang ibang masasarap.
Yeah.
Yes. Awitin mo at isasayaw ko.
Yes.
VST and Co. Ayun. Tapos ayun, it came out. People weren't really that into it.
Talaga ba?
Yeah, I mean, some people liked it, but it was mostly it would be considered a flop at the time.
Really? Because, I really remember that song, like, even without knowing who you were, or not even associating the Glee connection of it all. Like, it was like, oh my, when I was like, oh, you're gonna be working with Hazel Faith, I was searching it up. I was like, oh my gosh, siya yung kumanta nitong Kinikilig.
No.
It's like something na parang I was like, I know this song and I've heard this song around so many times, and this song is like such a bop and it's so catchy.
You.
So, if you're saying it was a flop back then who's laughing now? Because it became a TikTok trend, diba? And
Yeah.
it's like a good revival in 2021.
It's really like surprising. It was surprising to me nung naging hit ang Kinikilig. It was okay lang. It was out and then people were like, okay, but nobody like really like raved about it. Ako lang ata ang nag-rave about it. I was like, this is my happy song. This makes me so happy all the time. But people were like, maybe the audience was not ready at that time for Kinikilig. But
as you said naman, everything takes time.
exactly. Diba? Sabi sa'yo, sakto-sakto yung kantang yun eh. And then we moved on. We moved on from Kinikilig, writing other songs. And then my management at that time thought na it would be better that I would sing cover songs. So we sang cover songs. They did well. They did well naman. And they kept me alive for a while. So that was good. And then it was good. Spoiler. But yes. And then suddenly out of nowhere, TikTok contacted us and asked us to come by sa office nila. They were holding a seminar and we were like, okay, sige, sure. I already had a TikTok account anyway, so I was like, sure, let's get to know TikTok. And then kasama pala sa seminar nila na one of the most organically used songs in TikTok app was Kinikilig. And that's what it kind of dawned on me na, oh, something is happening. And so then I became active on TikTok. Thanks, TikTok. And then
shout out to the TikTok fam.
Thank you, TikTok fam. Love you guys. And then more people started using it. More vloggers started using it. Sina Kyo, they started using it. Sina ang dami pang mga vloggers that started using it. It came to a point where I didn't know what to do anymore because I was like,
kasi nga, anong magagawa?
Natutulala na lang. But it was nice. People heard the song, didn't know it was me. They just know Kinikilig by Hazel Faith, but they don't know my face. So they were like, oy, kaboses mo si Hazel Faith. So I was like, opo, poster po ako ni Hazel Faith. That's my favorite joke. Ano po ako, imposter po ako ni Miss Hazel Faith. But yeah, so everything, so Kinikilig just became its own thing without my doing anything. I was just there. Kumbaga, I was just there, and then it became this massive hit. Now it kind of became too big for me either. Parang I can't control it. What do I do with it? Parang ganun.
Yeah.
And again, you can see the providence of the Lord. Like wala akong ginawa. I couldn't do it on my own. I tried and I couldn't do it on my own. And then suddenly it just went on its own without me. So you can see the Lord's providence talaga. Pinapakita talaga ni Lord, ako ang gagawa para sa'yo. Huwag kang ano.
Siya ang gagawa.
Siya ang gagawa.
Ikaw lang
Magtiwala ka lang. Magtiwala ka lang. Okay, sorry. Gumagawa na tayo ng ibang kanta.
But Christian edition of Kinikilig.
Pwede.
Kinikilig sa pagmamahal ng Diyos.
Yes. Pwede naman. It does happen. But yeah, so ever since then, it's just been a whirlwind. But it was weird kasi should I go there na? Isa-segue ko na ba to renewed?
Yeah. I was about to ask nga parang, from Hazel the Kinikilig girl and Hazel the Glee girl, how did you bring the faith into Hazel Faith?
Yeah. Okay, so this is the part where it gets not so fun. It's a little real na. So I was getting all that attention, right? And I was getting all that good stuff, achievements and stuff, and Kinikilig. But behind the scenes, I was actually having a really dark time. I was going through a really dark time for a really long time, and I couldn't understand why. Because I was supposed to be happy. Alam mo yun, like I should be happy with what I had, but something just felt empty. Something just felt wrong. Something just felt not enough. And I was constantly trying to fill that void with things, with validation, with romantic chorba and that wouldn't be good anyway. So I was trying to fill that void with every little thing, and I was getting angrier and sadder and more discontent with my life, with myself, with everything. And it came to a point that I don't know if I wanted to do this anymore. I really was thinking of quitting everything. And then the quarantine happened. Then the pandemic happened. And I lost everything that I planned to have to do. And I became an independent artist. And I really was thinking I was gonna quit. Ito na, this is a chance to quit. But then, when I was minding my own business na, doing my own things, trying to fill the time inside by doing all my to-do list, at the end of my to-do list, ang hindi ko pa talaga nagagawa was open the Bible. And so I started reading the Bible. And then I realized, I did not understand my own faith. I did not understand what I said I believed in. I did not understand Jesus. I did not understand God at all. I only know that warm, fuzzy feeling you have when you're connected with God or when you're in prayer. That happens naman talaga. But I didn't theologically, mentally, intellectually understand what was really there in the Bible. And that was because I was willfully ignorant of the Bible. I did not read it. I'm too lazy. I hear it in the sermon anyway. I know I should be a good person lang. That's fine. But I realized that I wasn't being a good person. I wasn't actually a good person. I was a good person in other people's eyes, but I was not. Inside of me, I was not. And that was causing me a lot of sadness and pain and emptiness. And when I started getting right with God, and I vlogged about this, I had a video about this, 3 months reading the Bible every day.
Wow.
The change was night and day. Sunshine corazon to moonlight. Esperanza. Ganun ka different yung change. And I was a different person. Like, the first few months, my parents, my family, and my boyfriend was even telling me, ibang-iba ka na. That's how different it was. And I felt it. I felt it talaga, because I used to hold so many of these things important in my life. All of these numbers, fame, validation, respect, or what other people thought of me, or romance, if I'm single or in a relationship, all of that. I held that in such high regards. And if I didn't have one thing right, my whole world would be shattered. Alam mo yun? And it would cause me so much distress, anxiety, depression, and anger, and everything in my life would be bad. But after reading the Bible, and I felt talaga na kinausap ako ni Lord through the Bible, because He was addressing my issues, exactly what I was going through in each Bible verse that I was reading. And
was there an exact moment na you felt like, oh, ito yung, this is kind of like where I should be going? Like, what was that? At first you said you were just, it was part of your to-do list and you checked it out. But was that like, may parang light bulb moment ba? Parang, oh, okay, I'm getting onto something that would eventually change your direction to new directions.
I'm not very good at memorizing Bible verses, but there was this one Bible verse that really shook me to the core. And I told that in my Kumu concert na I read it out loud. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will be accepted into heaven. I'm paraphrasing, I'm not very good at memorizing. But not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will be accepted into heaven. And they will say to me, Lord, but we did miracles in your name. We healed. We did good things in your name. But I will say to them, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you.
Mm-hmm.
And that shook me to the core because ako yun eh.
Mm-hmm.
I always said I was a Christian. I always said I believed in Jesus. I've always said I believed in God. I prayed every day. I tithed. I went to church. But I didn't have this personal relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know him. I obviously didn't know him because I don't have a personal relationship with him. And I believed so many things people said about him. And if they said God was this, God was that, Jesus was this, Jesus did that. I just accepted all of that, what other people said, without actually reading the Bible for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was convicted so hard. And I was like, I don't want to be a stranger to God. I want to be somebody that God will see and smile at and will say, good work, my good and faithful servant. I want to be a good and faithful servant. And kasama na rin doon, pinaramdam sa akin ni Lord na He still loves me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no matter how broken I was or how unlovable I was at a certain point in my life, even I didn't love me at a certain point in my life. But God always reminded me every single day in all the Bible verses that I read that He loved me. Even if He disciplines me, that's coming from a place of love. And the fact that He sent His Son to die on the cross for me, for just little old me, na walang uwenta, that shook me to the core. And ever since then, I was like, okay, that's it. I want to know God. I want to have a personal relationship. Lord, don't let me stray anymore. Just keep me here. And I found joy. Alam mo yun, ang weird kasi I found joy in reading the Bible. I found joy in hearing preaching now. Dati matutulog ako sa preaching. Dati pampatulog ko yun. Pero ngayon, I'm like so awake and so like engrossed in it, and I feel so full. Nabubusog ako sa teachings, sa preachings, and nabubusog ako researching about my faith. Researching not just from the Bible, but okay, actual proof that Jesus existed. It's so exciting to me. And ngayon, tuwan-tuwa ako to share about the joy na nararamdaman ko because totoo nga yung sinabi niya that you will never thirst, you will never go hungry again. I am not hungry. I'm always being fed by the Spirit. So sorry, nag-rant na
go ahead.
na ako, diba?
That's why we're here.
Dire-diretso na ako. So that's the joy that I felt. And then kinonvict nga rin ako ni Lord about my career and where I was going, because along the way I realized that I had lost my way because I made little compromises.
Mm-hmm.
Here and there, little compromises na hindi mo mapapansin, but they have already like led me to a different path, a path that I did not want to take when I was starting in show business. And that's why I felt lost. And so, ni-realign ako ni Lord. Like, pinaalala sa akin ni Lord, this is who you were before. Remember that. And I made you like that. And you have a gift, and I gave you that gift. Now, what are you doing with your gift? So, na-convict na naman ako. Sabi ko, Lord, sorry na. I'm so sorry. I used it for myself.
Convicted for 3 counts of...
Selfishness, vanity. Okay. And then my mom was saying, sa bagay, since ano ka na naman, since independent ka na naman, pwede ka na maglabas ng praise song. She's been wanting me to put out praise song since forever. So I was like, sige, wala na akong excuse. And pinaparamdam sa akin ni Lord, lahat ng Bible verse na marinig ko, sing to me a new song, make me a new song, sing a new song to the Lord. So I was like, Opo, eto na po. Gagawa na.
Ito na po.
Eto na po. Coming up real quick.
But
So I started
before we continue that, I'd like to say na, I really appreciate that we got to share this experience with our listeners and your sweeties. Kasi parang, each of us, I guess, in our own little ways, have our own relationship with God. Some people like to express it in your art. Other people are like, I don't have to go to church. Ako kasi parang medyo ganun yung experience ko na parang, I don't, some people are so traditional in that sense. Na parang, okay, I just have to check this, I just have to check this checklist of what to do. Go to
things
church
need to
every
do.
Sunday, whatever, right? But then when you see their lives, they're not really like living what they're supposed to study or misunderstanding and just like spreading the name of the Lord in vain. Parang it's nice that we get to hear such an experience from you and that you also get to bring it to your music. And thank you for that, because like I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate, especially our listeners here also on radyo-katipunan, because we are this is a Jesuit radio station, first and foremost. But at the end of the day, it's really nice that we get to hear your journey in that sense. And now we're talking about your latest album, which is called Renewed. And definitely, as you were saying, you were renewed. I guess let's take it from there. Na parang one of the songs is called Lighthouse in the Storm. Was that the first one you wrote? Given the story that you were saying na you were so lost, and then you found God in that that experience of being lost and being found again. Is that parang how this album came to be?
Actually, no. The first song I wrote after I got renewed was Bagong Buhay.
Oh.
But then we started compiling songs. So we were trying to pick which single lang talaga pinlano namin, which song to put out. And then my mom and my brother, we couldn't pick. So we picked like 6 songs. But di na namin ma-afford yung 6 songs. So 5 songs. We picked 5 songs. And they were like, are we gonna make an album? Is this real? Are we really gonna make an album? And my boyfriend, Caleb Santos, who is a producer as well, he was like, you know what? I'll pitch in. So we literally only had a songwriter, singer, and a producer. And that's it. That's all we needed to make the album. And so we compiled the songs. And so one of the compiled songs was a song I wrote when I was 18 or something, I think 18, Lighthouse in the Storm. And Lighthouse in the Storm was my first time feeling the presence of the Lord. First time ko. Kasi like I said, I knew I was Christian and everything, but I didn't understand what it was like to be in the presence of the Lord. And I know a lot of Christians can relate to this, because when you're in the presence of the Lord, you just can't help but cry or be overwhelmed by this unexplainable emotion. Kasi it's amazing. Ewan ko, hindi ko ma-explain din. It's just an amazingly overwhelming, overpowering feeling that just makes you like feel so much love around you. So you're just naiiyak ka na lang sa sobrang love na nararamdaman mo. And that's the catalyst that made me write Lighthouse in the Storm. And now when we were revisiting the songs that I wrote in the past, my mom was like, this one is special to me. I want you to put this out. So I go, are you sure? Kasi it's old na. and then my mom was like, please, ito talaga. This song is so special to me. So I was like, sige, I'll put it out. And
it's all coming back to me now moment.
Yes. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. I particularly wasn't really impressed with my writing sa Lighthouse in the Storm. I was like, I can do better. But that song was special to my mom, so I put it out. And then we got the original arranger of that, Sir Albert Tamayo. We got him to come back and rearrange it, just to update it and mix it and everything. So we were like, okay, this is gonna be the more contemporary sounding song. So this is gonna be the one that people are more used to in the album. So yun ang unahin natin.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a pretty good like opening statement, like coming from your previous songs into this new chapter, or at least this album cycle, 'di ba? Parang it's a good statement, and you got support also for it. So ang gandang ano lang din, knowing your story from how kanina, how you discovered God even further in your life to this song. Parang ang ganda ng kwento ng Lighthouse in the Storm, and it's all coming back to you now. And everything's just like full circle, you realize, no?
Yes. Yes, indeed. Sobra.
So parang I guess let's move on to the other songs. And for me, parang everything is just so modern, but it's so nice how everything is integrating your faith into it. And it's not like something that you're gonna cringe. Kasi diba parang I do love all my classic Christian or Catholic church songs, and ang daming mga Hillsong United songs na very ano rin, 'di ba? Catchy, like mga ang tawag dito, One Way Jesus, ganun.
Yes.
And those are really good songs because aside from being musically produced well and like structured in a sense that it's a pop song, the message is there. And I can say the same for Renewed na I can just put it on and just like
Jam.
sing to it and jam to it, and then the message inside na parang I'm not an openly open like, oh my gosh, I love God so much person. Although I do believe in God, and I know that He is around, and ayun, parang it's just nice to like get back into that through music as well, na parang it might not be my daily or my experience of God, but also because of music, it's kind of like strengthened also in a sense na mababakanta ka na lang na ang bagong buhay ko ay para sa iyo, gano'n.
Yes!
Paano yung dance challenge nun ulit?
Ang
May utang pa ako kay Hazel, by the way.
Hintayin ko yan sa TikTok. But yeah, actually, I had the same sentiments. I do love Christian music, but I keep finding myself being attracted to secular music. Even though I'm convicted din kasi yung napapakinggan kong lyrics, ano yung sinasabi niyo? So parang it doesn't...
WAP, ganun.
Oh, calling out names! Shooting shots! But yeah, nako-convict ako because I enjoy this music, but the problem was, it wasn't fulfilling my soul. And so I was like, gusto ko din mapakinggan tong music na to, but then it's all the same songs again and again and again. It's kind of the same sounding songs again and again and again. And I was like, I'm bored with this sound because it's predictable now for me. And so I wanted to find a way. I actually wanted to make music that I wanted to hear. The songs na nakukuha ko yung musicality nitong secular world, but with the nutrients of the Christian music. And I'm so grateful na narinig mo yun in the album. I'm so grateful.
It's such a great talaga intersection. Like I also like listening to all genres and all artists and all, like pag minsan may trip ka lang na, oh, I wanna discover this, but like I'm a really like pop person, and the pop sentiments are there, definitely. Yes. Yung city pop sa Confession ba yun? And like, sa Bagong Buhay is like electro pop din, di ba? In a sense. Parang, oh wow, she was able to do this. And not everyone can do that, right? And it's amazing to see that in this album. Confession and Bagong Buhay, parang okay, let's just listen to it again.
Yes.
In a sense, it reminds you, it brings you back in a sense, for people who may have put it on the side. And we're here right now talking about it, which is also really great. And I guess, what are your favorite experiences making this album, or any particular song na you really, I guess Bagong Buhay ba, since it's your carrier single in a sense?
Well, if you're talking about favorites, Definitely Bagong Buhay is one of my favorites dahil it's my musicality, it's the influences of all my childhood and anime and and at the same
May
time
anime ba dun?
may kind of anime, alam mo pag narinig mo yung music na music lang, parang maririnig mo parang outro siya ng mga anime. Alam mo yung sa
Oh,
anime na credit,
right! Oo nga, yung tan,
diba?
tan, tan,
Diba?
tan.
It kind of has a little bit of that. So shout out sa mga anime lovers out there.
Yes!
So yeah, it's a big wild mix of me, and at the same time, performance wise, it's such a fun song to perform. Like ang flexible niya kasi you can make it more funk, you can make it more R&B, you can make it more jazzy. There's so many ways you can play with Bagong Buhay. So you'll never get bored. Ang problema ko kasi sa ibang songs ko na I keep singing the same again and again. Then nabobore na ako. So sa Bagong Buhay, I can play it however I want and I'll never get bored. But second favorite would be Confession then actually. Because
Yeah.
Confession is the hardest that I've worked on, the song that I worked on the most. Ang daming revisions ng Confession because I wanted to make it as biblical as possible. There were so many lines in Confessions, not even line, sometimes word lang, which has a reference in the Bible.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was trying to be very strict about making the song cohesive and good, pero at the same time, the meticulousness was in Confession. And not just the lyricism, but also the sound, because the sound, it was a tight line. Kasi if I did too hard, too authentic sa retro, it sounds like an old song. Alam mo yun, it sounds too old. So it was a tight line of trying to keep it retro/modern.
Mm-hmm. And you did a great job again.
Thank you. Thank you so
Parang,
much.
I wouldn't really think about the meticulousness that came into working on it, but now hearing about it, and it turned out, even without that, it's just like an all-out bop, I would say.
Thank you.
Ang
Well, I can take all the credits. Caleb produced it. Caleb arranged it. So like,
shout out.
shout out,
Shout out to
mahal.
you. Yee, sana
Yeah,
all.
Sana
Sana
I go. But yeah, so yeah, tier list of my favorites: Bagong Buhay, Confession, and then It Was Good, which is like the most out there song I've put out ever yet. Pero gumagawa talaga ako ng mga ganitong klaseng songs. I just never thought that they were legitimate until a few songwriters, seniors I met told me that it's a legitimate form of songwriting. And so I was like, you know what? Let's do this. And so I wrote It Was Good, which is not the most conventional sound, I know. Not the most conventional song structure either. And it's pretty long. It's the longest song I've ever written. I think for up to 5 minutes ata siya. And it documents Genesis 1, but at the same time, it talks about, yun nga, the fear that I was talking about, the fear of the Lord, na I don't want him to see me and be like, I never knew you. I want him to see me and say, it was good. You did good. So that was the heart of the song talaga at the end. And even now, but every time maririnig ko It Was Good, I always tear up at the end because like, yes, I just want you to say I'm good, Lord.
Aww,
Ganun
that's so
lang.
nice.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's a way na rin of professing na iba na ang gusto ko sa buhay ko. The Lord really changed my heart kasi I used to want, validation from the world. If I was the best, if I was perfect, if I was good enough, then I'm happy. But I was never happy. But this time, what I really want in my life is for God to look at me and say, you did good. I'm proud of you. I'm happy with what you did. That's the pinaka goal ko na in my life, and that's my trajectory, and that's in the song. That's the whole It Was Good. That's what it's about.
Iiyak na yan. Pero yun na nga, parang it's really nice to hear that, and I would say it really was good, and it's nice that you're filling that gap that is missing from a lot of the people now in music, now you're not just bringing the pop music out there, but the pop music with messages and a good mali pa tuloy, a good message, a good message to add to that. And parang especially as young people right now in this ever changed world, it's nice to be reminded of those things through music, because music really, as mentioned earlier, as I said earlier, na parang music speaks to us in so many different ways, and you're the messenger. And ako, gusto ko rin yung song na nagpapasalamat ako.
Oh!
It's such a classic OPM sounding, yung may pa para pa pa para pa. Ang ganda ng part na yon. And
Thank you.
the message of it is it dedicated to your mom and your parents? Because I
My
know
dad.
you're really close, no?
It's my dad.
Oh.
Kasi my dad, like I said, my dad was the one who would introduce me to old music, and he was the one who introduced me to Beatles.
Mm.
And this song was very heavily influenced by Beatles, because what I love about Beatles song is anybody can sing it.
Uh-huh.
Anybody can sing it. You don't have to be a biritera. You don't have to be coloratura or something like that. You just have to sing it. You can sing it with your best friends. Kahit di ka kayo magaling masyado mag-gitara, it's fine. Basta you're enjoying the song. And that's what I wanted to achieve with Nagpapasalamat Ako. And when my dad heard it, he loved it so much. He was like, kailangan nasa album to. I was like, that's why I really like, sabi ko, di ba, 6 and then naging 5. Sabi ko, something has to come out, to be out. And then my dad was like, hindi mo tatanggalin ang Nagpapasalamat Ako.
May mom's pick, may dad's pick, and Hazel's pick. And of course, everything is God's pick. Wow!
Ay, kinilig ako dyan.
Kilig.
Kilig kay Lord. So yeah.
It really reminds me of that classic sound na parang, it feels very familiar, but it's new. Like, parang kailan ng Smoky Mountain vibes. Parang
Thank
ganon.
you.
And it's really nice na, whether you take, it can be about your relationship with God or your relationship with your family or just people in your life. It's really nice to have that kind of song of things. Alam mo yung mga pang-graduation din na songs, mga ganon, yung mga, things to remember people by and thank people for. And it's really, ang ganda ng, this is just the beginning of your renewed life, and, you're off to a great start. So, congrats on that.
Thank you. Actually, Nagpapasalamat Ako is a reminder, not just for a faith, not just for God, of course, pero it's also a reminder to like stop and just appreciate what you have. Because like I said, like nagkaroon yung dark moments ko was coming from a place of I'd never feel like I'm good enough. I'm never feeling like I'm enough. But the Lord says you are enough. The Lord says, I give you everything that you need in your life to be happy. And so it's a reminder. Stop. Look at the sunset. That's God's gift to you. Look at a hug of a mom. Pasalamat ka that you have that. So it just reminds you the little things in life. Don't take them for granted, because life is so fleeting. It's so short. Let's spend it happy. Let's spend it grateful.
Mm-hmm.
And then when dark times come, you save all of those little happy moments. You save all of that, and then always remind yourself that you had happy moments, so that the dark times won't fool you. Because sometimes the dark times, when you're in dark times and your anxiety is all over your head, you're thinking, my whole life is bad. My whole life is worthless. But then the good times will remind you, no. It has great moments and will continue to have great moments.
And yun na nga, parang, God is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to be preachy here, but God is in everything. Whether you like it or not, God is in one form or another, whether we recognize that or not. Whether, kasi, diba, medyo nag-iiba na ngayon yung religion and how people treat it. But, we're not saying you should do it the way Hazel did or the way I'm doing it, but find your own experience of faith, whether you don't have to express it like so publicly. It can be your own private thing as well. And as Hazel's song says, it's a lighthouse in the storm that you'll find, tama ka nga dun sa part na um when you're in moments of despair, there's always that hope that things will be better, and that they will be better eventually, and that not just God but the people around you will help you get through them. And
Yeah, God will send people to help you.
yes,
Like this album, God sent Sony to help us.
shout out to the Sony fam.
Shout out Sony fam.
So yun, I mean, it's really nice to listen to your stories about renewed and how you got to renewed. But I guess of course what everyone asks all the time na okay, as we continue to promote this album, what's next for Hazel Faith? What kind of music are you gonna be putting out? Is it, we can't take this out of you na the Christian music and God is in everything, but are there also plans to also, as mentioned earlier, probably bring up other old songs that you feel like, connected to again, or parang may kinikilig part 2 ba na pwede nating ibalik with new love teams, mga ganong bagay?
Kilig pa rin. I definitely have been encouraged by the amount of love that Renewed is getting. So, and parang pinaparamdam din sa akin ng Lord na I still have more songs to put out. So, definitely, maraming mga secular songs na lalabas. Some from my Ataul. Tama ba? Ataul?
Yes, yes.
Some from my Ataul.
Hindi yata Ataul. Ataul
Ano,
is
what is
already
it?
your ano eh.
Oh, no,
Ataul
my
is
grade.
like
No, what is
grade.
it? What is the word?
Baul.
Baul.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I'm not dead yet, guys. But some from my Baul, and then some from my new creations. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'll be working. I feel like ang daming request for collabs, and I'm gonna choose a collab very soon.
Wow,
so
let's talk about that after this.
Yes. But
Baka ma-spoil.
Well, secret muna. But yes, gonna come back to secular music. But as I said, hindi na talaga mawawala sa akin yung pagiging Christian ko.
Definitely.
So, definitely, meron ding future dyan for more albums like Renewed, or maybe for Sunday school kids, because I am a Sunday school teacher. Maybe I could compile some of my Sunday school songs and I could put it out there.
That's so nice. I mean, even in secular music, diba, God is there, whether it's explicitly there or not. And that's really exciting to hear na, what's to come after this. But I guess as we head to the latter part of the show, as we what do you call this? As we go to our ending stretch, I want to ask na parang, who is Hazel outside of music? And outside of, what people know her to be. Like, I know we were talking about K-pop before. Ano yung mga pinapakinggan mo ngayon na kinakaadikan mo? I know you're watching Attack on Titan also. Kailan na-activate si Anime Hazel? Ganun.
Ay, matagal na. I grew up to anime. I grew up to K-pop. So, like, friends, fangirl me. I'm just this little weird girl. How can I say? I've always been the quirky girl. I mean, I don't want to sound like a pick-me, but like I've always been the kind of the weird one, always in her own world, always being a dreamer. So, social situations still kind of scare me, but thanks to internet, medyo mas nasasanay.
Yeah, and it's 2021 versus like 10 years ago when, as young kids, or parang we just turned into teenagers, the confidence about who you are and what you like isn't necessarily there yet. But as you grow old, it's really like something you grow into and be more confident in. And it's nice na, you shouldn't be scared of who you are and what you like. Because, you mentioned earlier, parang let's all collect those happy moments. And if that's your happy moment, then
Exactly.
let's just respect what everyone's happy moments
Yeah.
are, diba?
Mm-mm. If I were to like put it all together, I think I would be dreamer slash creator. Yeah, and those are the two words I could make for myself. I would dream up things and try to make them. That's it. It's a Most of my songs are dreams, and then I write them down. Most of my ideas are wild and out there, but it's my joy to make things.
That's such a great way of wrapping everything up as Hazel, the dreamer and the creator of such great music. And definitely, we're looking forward to all the other songs that you're going to be releasing next. But now, unfortunately, we have reached the end of our show. But before we do end, we're gonna head into our pop stop or our pop culture recommendations for the week. So sabi ni Hazel, marami siyang baon this week. Kung ano i-recommend niya. So
Oh my goodness.
I'll pass the mic muna to you. What are your pop culture recommendations that you want our listeners, all the sweeties out there listening?
I actually have a lot. Like, pero ang hirap from the top of my head. I want you guys to listen to Abby Singson,
Mhm.
amazing songwriter. I want you guys to listen to Steph Martel, also an amazing, talented songwriter. Sino pa ba? Jopper Real, and uh, dami, wait lang. They're running through my head. But yeah, ang dami sa mga OPM. Oh, International Elijah, Elijvh. He's also an amazing. I collaborated with him in a song of his called Miracles, and he's half Filipino, half American, and he's a rapper slash singer slash songwriter slash producer
Nice.
slash everything. So you guys are missing out. Ang gaganda ng mga kanta niya. He sounds like himself, of course. Ayaw niya ma-compare sa ibang tao. But yeah, letter. I mean, I became a fan when he emailed me. So I heard his writing, and I was like, I am in. Let's write this collab. Come on. So yeah, I hope you guys listen to Miracles by Elijah and myself. It's really good. Like, not saying this because I'm in it. It's really good.
But sometimes you have to hype yourself up as well. You have to believe in what you put out. You can't, alam mo yun, hindi naman pwedeng you just put it out just because. It's because also, you believe that this will reach more people and this message will come out and this is good music. So, let's enjoy. Parang like this, parang I believe in myself and talking to other people. So let's put this out there.
Yes. Oh, and finally, sorry, can I add one last?
Yes, go ahead.
Of course, please do listen to Caleb Santos. Caleb is the producer of Renewed, and if you like his music, the music that he made for me, you're gonna like the songs that he made for himself. He already has some hits under his belt, and he's gonna make more. And maybe in the future we could collaborate more. We already have a duet together, so maybe you guys can listen to that one. But yeah, Caleb Santos, amazing artist.
Yee!
Bakit ba?
Share out naman to, Jen. Pero yun, I mean, awesome. I will definitely check those artists out. And it's always nice to listen to new Filipino music out there. Of course, aside from Hazel's, my recommendations for the week are first, speaking of anime, I want to recommend Demon Slayer. I just started watching it. It's so good. I'm only like in the first half, not even, parang first half of the first half, parang ganun. But I'm already so amazed by it. And I heard the movie is really good. It's out on Netflix for easy access. So you can check Demon Slayer out. And I just finished the first 3 volumes of Trece, the comic version. And it's really, really good. If you enjoyed the show, Trece, definitely you will enjoy the comics because they're a different experience, and in a sense, as with any adaptation, the source material has a lot to offer, and 13 is one of those. I'm so sad because sobrang sold out niya lahat ngayon. So parang only volumes 1 to 3 are like available, and there are currently like 7 volumes. So parang kind of have to wait for volumes 4 to 7. But amazing comic. It's great that people have now put their attention to it because it deserves it. So those are my 2 recommendations, very anime adjacent. And of course, Hazel's album Renewed. Definitely a great album, not just because Hazel is on here. I've been telling her this how many times na parang, Hazel, it's so good. I can't stop listening to it. I'm so LSS. So stream Renewed. It's an amazing album. And of course, Hazel, any other plugs that you wanna tell, or where can people follow you? What your daily streaming schedule is?
Oh yeah. So I go live on Kumu every 10 a.m. to 12 noon, Monday to Friday. That's where I hang out with people, get to know my sweeties. Sometimes we play games. Sometimes we feature other OPM artists and we talk about their musicality and their songwritings and stuff like that. And sometimes I even write songs on the spot on live stream whenever the mood hits me. So if you want to hang out with me, if you have free time in the morning, have a happy morning with me at 10 a.m. to 12 noon sa Kumu. Just follow me at Hazel Faith Live. And then all of my socials are connected in the Facebook fan page. We are verified. Just look for Hazel Faith Verified. And all of the socials are connected there. And all of the top updates will be there as well. If you're watching this on the day, anong araw to lalabas?
If you're watching this on a Thursday.
If you're watching this on a Thursday, lumabas na siguro ang guestings ko. I don't know kung mapapanood nyo ang guestings ko, but yeah, I will be on Wish Radio. I will be on Twitter Space.
Yes.
Sony.
Also with me.
Yes, with Cholo as well.
Round 2 kami, round 2.
And then, yeah, please do. We're thinking of making a Facebook concert for Renewed. We're thinking of. Still planning, so we don't have a date yet, but you just follow the fan page for all the updates. And oh yeah, do the Bagong Buhay Dance Challenge. Come on, hashtag Bagong Buhay Dance Challenge. Yeah! The Bagong Buhay Dance Challenge is active and alive, and people are dancing already. And we're gonna make a dance compilation video for everybody. So do the Bagong Buhay Dance Challenge.
Kaya hindi pa malabas ni Hazel kasi hindi ko pa nagagawa yung akin.
Oo, iniintay talaga kita. Ang tagal.
Sorry naman po.
I know, but yeah, many more things are coming up soon, and just follow me on all my socials for all of the updates.
And we're so excited, definitely, for all of your upcoming projects. And of course, do stream Renewed on Spotify, Apple Music, and your favorite music streaming platforms. Of course, thank you so much to Hazel for being on the show this week. It was such a lovely conversation. I wish we could continue talking even more, but of course we have our time. But thank you so much. It's been great, and I'm looking forward to your return to the show on your next promotion cycle. Of course, Popcorn is streaming on all your favorite podcast platforms, from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all streaming platforms. Of course, we're also here on Radio-Katipunan every Thursday at 3 p.m. And ayun, go follow Popcorn as well at Popcorn W Cholo on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we will see you all next time. Bye!
This is your stop for all things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Cholo Sediaren, as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's hot in the pop culture scene here on Popcorn. Munch in with us every Thursdays from 4 to 6. Only here on Radyo-Katipunan 87.9 FM. Radyo-Katipunan 87.9 FM.
And there was another drive-by
The
shooting
fire we
today
reported at the old
downtown.
fire hall is still burning out of
Do you sometimes feel confused or lost in the complications and complexities of life? Do you feel drained, listless, or exhausted from the daily burdens and responsibilities? Why not seek our campus ministers on air every Tuesday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon? Listen to our counselors from the Loyola School's Campus Ministry Office as they ground our lives in our faith, in our school's spiritual tradition. Campus Ministers on Air. Be guided, be inspired, be blessed. Listen to our Campus Ministers on Air.